All right, well, we're actually going to take things over. Decatur was looking to stay undefeated last night, and they were in Berlin as they were taking on Easton. The Seahawks pushed the rock all game long, including this one from Darian McKenzie. Decatur got off to a hot start, and the Warriors looked to match the intensity. JoJo Morosco with the carry, but the Seahawks had their eyes set on being undefeated, and that is exactly what they would do. Check out this guy right here, Tyree Henry, with the interception here. Decatur is going to get this one, and they're going to remain undefeated on the season, 40-9, the final.
As for Colonel Richland, they were squaring off against Kent County. Also, that was a great game last night. One of the more surprising ones. The Colonels hanging tough in this thing. Shawnee Bowens would actually find Eric Joseph right there. He would take it to the house for the score, but back come the Trojans on the other way. Steve Currian, he would have a big day in that one as well. We kind of let you know that basically Kent County is really good, and that's why we're going to talk about them a little bit more. They had 70 points in that one. They would go on to get the win.
Alrighty, and we're actually going to take things over to Indian River as they played host to Sussex Tech. Take a look at the crowd here. The Ravens got off to a hot start. Patrick Griffith carries the rock in for a touchdown. Just a few minutes later, Isaiah Brown shimmies, takes it outside. He's going to cut back inside, basically beats the entire defense on this one, and he is gone. Tech extends their lead here, and IR was apparently taking notes. Montrell Phillips gets physical, protects that rock into the end zone, but Tech's defense would not let another one go. Jordan Marvel with the sack as the Ravens take it 36-6, the final.
And a bunch more scores get you updated on. Smyrna hammered Appo 64-0. Cambridge, well, they took it to Seaford as well, 63-0. Del Mar fell to St. Mary's 27-25, while Cape fell to Oakdale 48-12. Lake Forest got a huge win over St. Mark's 14-13, while Bennett topped Nandoa 19-12. Sussex Central, they fell to Interboro 26-6. DMA beat Milford 34-14, while Laurel and St. Elizabeth are just getting going. And the other game obviously was CR, who was in a big battle as well against the Sallies. That one, there was a reason we didn't have very many highlights to show you on that one. It was a tough night for them.
It was. All right, well, it is week 3 now, and all the polls, I know we've been getting a lot of feedback on Twitter, so I know that it's been something that's very popular, and something that everyone waits for is the power rankings, and we're going to bring you those right now. To start us off, we have Trayvon Miles standing by.
That's right, guys. Another great week of high school action. Some more shakeups have led to some old names reappearing in this ranking. Let's get right to it. Quote the Ravens, Sussex Tech at number 1 for the second consecutive week. Number 2, my dark horse favorite, Smyrna, is looking good. We'll see how they look next week against Louisiana. Lake Forest with a huge comeback win over St. Mark's. I can't even tell you how big that win will be when the playoffs roll around. Central drops 1 spot. Cape Henlopen drops out to make room for Dover. The Senators have a huge matchup next week against those Lake Forest Spartans with significant Henlopen implications on the line and, of course, implications on these very power rankings. Over in Maryland, a new number 1 for the 3rd consecutive week. I heard it, but I wanted to see it for myself. The North Carolina Bulldogs. Coach McCormick, you have something cooking up there in Ridgely. Kent County stays put at number 2. Kent Island slides to 3. Queen Anne's and Cambridge 4 and 5. Guys, Decatur's 3-0. Parkside's 3-0. But the teams they have beat are just a combined 1 and 9. If they can win against some coming Bayside North opponents, then they'll make my list and change my mind. Until then, keep chopping, guys.
Yeah, they're certainly knocking on the door, but I feel like the power is still in the north.
It's just ridiculous in the north.
We'll start over there in Maryland, actually. We're going to go number 5. I still got Queen Anne's. 4, Cambridge. Not much movement in my list, actually, this week. 3 at Kent Island, Kent County, and North Carolina coming in 2-1 right there. Going over to Delaware. I have Laurel at 5, but that may change after tonight. If they do drop out of there, it's going to get interesting. There's not a lot of teams are trying to seize that 5 spot right now. Sussex Central is at 4. Smyrna is at 3. I still have Lake ahead of them. That Lake win, Dre is right on the money. That was a huge win right there, and I got Sussex Tech at 1.
All right, well, I'm going to take things back to Maryland. Kent County, I know that they showed up last night and got a big win at Colonel, but their defense has got to step up if they're going to make it up on my list. Queen Anne's is going to come in at number 4. Impressive win, but I need to see them get things done against some bigger teams out there. Number 3, I've got Kent Island. They hammer the football, but I still need to see them put together an entire game. They were kind of non-existent in that first half. And then Cambridge at number 2. I just like what this team can do. Nate Lowe and Trey Lake, they are absolutely solid, and they put up a fight against my number 1 team, North Carolina, who's 3-0, but they need to stay healthy in order to stay at the top of my list. Heading over to Delaware, I'm going to take Dover at number 5. I'm going to go with Cape Henlopen at 4. Sussex Central, I know that it was kind of Not the best week, but they did have a tough opponent, so they're coming at number 3. Smyrna is coming at number 2. I think that's a crazy win that they had over.
It's pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive, and I'm going to go with Sussex Tech at number 1.
No love for Lake. And I got to say, the big game this upcoming week, Cambridge hosting Kent County.
Oh,
There's going to be a lot on the line. That's a 1A
much.
matchup that everyone's looking forward to.
Right.
And we actually had a few college games going on today as well. There was a big game over at DSU, their first home one. We're going to have highlights of that later tonight on our 11 o'clock newscast. That was about as big of a heartbreaker as you can. They were down. They scored a touchdown with under a minute to go. They were down a point, and they missed the point after to lose that thing. Wesley, not so much. They dominated CNU in that thing.
Shocker, right?
Big congrats to Coach Drass, his 200th win on that one. And, of course, Salisbury, they were also in action today. They were taking on Montclair State. Ryan Jones had 151 yards. He also had a couple touchdowns in that one. And he wasn't the only one that had a big day. There were some other guys out there as well getting it done. Jermaine Johnson, I should say, had 96 yards on the ground and also a touchdown in that one. So pretty solid day for him.
All right, so enough of football. Just kidding. I love football, but I also love soccer, so we're actually going to take a look at some games of soccer as well coming up when we return in just 90 seconds. Keep it right here.
We are the Golden Knights, and you're watching the Marvel Sports Insider.